So tell that to me again. We talked about when you were face up.
Well, as the different chords or notes were being struck, I could feel the energy moving through my solar plexus, but at the same time, I heard the voice, which was my voice, but in a different tone. So it was a higher, the same pitch that you had, the chord you were striking. That's how high the voice that sounded like my voice was speaking to me and said, it was saying, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. And not only was I feeling the energy of the chords, but I was hearing the message with the chords and also feeling it as it was untying, because that area at times feels like it was knotted, and I could feel as the tones were hitting that area, the knots were loosening, and the cord that was a knot within my solar plex began to relieve and unravel and almost spiral loose. It was almost like the tones were almost like a little spiraling, going up down the solar plexus, and it was just opening up, and it was almost painful at first, because it was like it was tight, and then it got really tight, and then it just loosened. But that is my issue, the trust, even when I know everything's going to be all right, part of me always knots up and like tightens and tenses and
Um, I want to mention, because I just turned the recorder on, that before we began to talk, I shared with my beloved client, sister, friend, daughter, spirit, um, that I was led to start at her crown with Cherish, did work there, and then she was face up, and then I placed it while she was supine faced up on her chest and stomach. And during that process, what came up was I spent time in the heart chakra and the solar plexus. So when I first started, my angels guided me to start with the crown and to walk through each chakra as if I'm walking through doors, and that's how I'm guided. And so she just shared what she experienced there. Face down, I used Marielle. When you were face down, was there anything that stood out?
Yes, I've been having back issues, and I'm sure when Miss Wanda was working on my back, she felt the brace. I have a brace on because I've been having some back spasms from between the mid upper back to lower back near the hips. Um, and while she played, I felt again that tension on the spine initially, and it was painful. And as I began to breathe slowly and deeply, not holding my breath, but taking a full, deep breath, I closed my eyes really tight, and I saw almost like the energy of my spine, and then the energy of the vibrations of the tones going through my spine, hitting all the nerve endings. I actually saw the nerve endings lighting up white with healing light.
Wow.
And then again, like this cord that was tight in my spine also began to release, and it almost in synchronizing with the different tones that were hitting through my spine. And I felt it only in the areas of my spine that I'm having issue with.
Okay.
So between mid back, where the rib cage is, all the way down to my SI joint, lower hips, that's where I was feeling the tension just being relieved, and the energy
That's lumbar
of tension.
to sacral, right? Is it?
Upper, well, it's upper thoracic,
Upper thoracic.
down into the lower sacral area. And that's where I've been having the spasms. And I had just a tinge of it this morning. Um, Still there for him. That's why I'm wearing the brace, just to give me some support. Um, but I felt all of that tension as I began to breathe deeply, and the newts I felt were getting into the spine, infiltrating the areas of the spine, and the nerves just began firing. And I actually felt then the nerve endings all the way down into my arms, shoulders, into my hands, into my legs, all of those that connect into the spine just lit up.
Wow.
And then I felt relief even in my upper shoulder, but not the energy, but just the relief of the tension just dropping my shoulders naturally, and the muscles just finish loosening up from the spinal cord area that you were working. And I also have been having some stuff going on in my upper left shoulder, and some issues that's going down into my hand. So that really, without me even telling Miss Wanda anything, those things were being addressed. And there was no verbal communication at all with regards to any of these issues, and I did not discuss that with her prior to or anything. It was all synchronized with the vibration that the harp.
I appreciate hearing that. In preparation for starting to work with people one-on-one, but it's at a whole nother level now because of being guided to the training I recently came from and understanding how to work with these sacred instruments. Immediately when I returned from my trip, I started hearing spirits say, play the melody of the individual, play their energy. So literally be guided by the individual's energy, and moving my hands, creating the notes based on being guided by the individual's energy versus having some sort of protocol. And immediately I was led to strategically place Cherish at the crown and work there, and then placed her on top of her torso, and then switched up with Marielle on her back. And so it is a blessing to hear feedback from each individual, because as I'm hearing them, I'm experiencing it, for the first time. Because I am in this listening. Again, God has said, listen to the energy of to the flow of the energy of the individual, and be guided on how to play the notes from there. So that way, actually, you are, the individual is guiding the session.
What I wanted to say, if I may, I just want to interject one more thing. I felt as though, not that Miss Wanda was playing the instrument, but that it was synchronizing to my vibration of what the essence of me is needing, or the journey that I'm on. It actually synchronized with me, therefore providing a song that no one else will have, and no one else will have the same note. I felt
same
it was
sequence,
personal.
harmony, nothing.
I felt it was personal, and heartfelt, literally harp and heartfelt.
Heartfelt, yeah. That is a blessing.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me some insight to what you were experiencing in your journey. And we'll do it again. And we only did a 30-minute session. Yeah. Thanks again.